Capitol now. There was a lot of movement this week with some considered controversial bills.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about the transgender sports bill as well as the education voucher bill. Our Capitol reporter, Augusta McDonnell, live in studio with more for us. Thanks for being here, Augusta.
Yeah, my pleasure. It was a very busy week at the Capitol. Thank you for having me.
Oh, my goodness. Yes, thanks for waking up with us. So some of the biggest debates surrounded the voucher bill, the school choice bill, as it was called. You were following it from the start.
Yes.
What happened with that as far as failing? It went well into Wednesday night debate.
Yes, that vote came in before midnight. It was about a 3-hour process where our leaders were debating the nuances of what we're going to see in our public and private education policy. It was really interesting to see kind of like on the floor some of these, for such an important bill, some of these decisions were being made really in the 11th hour as those votes were coming in. So a lot of drama, and ultimately, lawmakers rejected a top Republican initiative. And so for Republicans at the State House right now, this is a really interesting moment.
The governor pretty sore about this too.
Yes,
he was very upset.
He was upset. He was making calls to the floor during the debate, during the questioning. There was a lot of kind of like 11th hour, can we make this happen efforts? And we know, I talked to Pro Tem Greg Treat, and he said, he's not done yet. There's several ways that this bill could still come back.
Wow.
It could come back in the budget process. It could come back, maybe through the House. But we know that House Republican leadership is just really not interested in hearing this measure this year. So much to be seen, but we'll see.
Yeah, a bill that even split the Republican Party, which is interesting to see. I want to talk about the other major bill that had some movement this week, and that would be the Save Women's Sports Act.
Yes.
Of course, this is not the first time that this bill was brought into. It had a little bit more success than it did the previous time, because now it's sitting on the governor's desk.
It's sitting on the governor's desk, and last session it stalled at the Senate, and so it will be interesting to see. The OSSAA, the School Sports Association that manages our sports in Oklahoma, has not had any complaints on their current policy that parents can make a complaint about a transgender girl playing in women's sports, and they've yet to have a complaint since 2015. So the authors of the bill are saying this is kind of a preventative measure. They're concerned about women's sports, and now it'll be up to the governor to see if he's going to sign it. And I've reached out to his communications people, and they've said they're watching as well, so we'll find out more. I believe he has 5 days to make his decision.
Any other education bills still moving their way through that we need to be watching for this week?
Yeah, absolutely. So this week, one of the governors, another measure that he talked about in terms of education in the State of the State speech was that 100K teacher salary opportunity. And so that bill has changed authors, it's changed names. It's now called, I believe, the Lottery Commission Act or something for schools, because the funding is going to come from a surplus from the Lottery Commission. That bill took a step forward this week, and I'll be breaking that down a little bit more next week as it heads to the Senate.
Yeah, it's been a very busy legislative session, a lot to stay on top of. I know you've been doing a great job covering that. We appreciate you being with us.
Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.